when you see my screen.
Yeah, well, here we are. Hello, Fran. This is Yvonne from Insurance Advisors Direct. For any of the brokers that have shown up, I appreciate your time. I know right now we are mad rush, making sure we have all of our kits and job aids and a lot of things that we're going to be needing for this AEP that is starting in approximately 3 days. So really want to welcome all the brokers. This will also be recorded and available on our YouTube channel. We're going to have some nice job aids that we'll give to all of our attendees. If you do see this video later, please reach out to me, email me, give me a call and let me know, and I'll pass those job aids to you. Again, my name is Yvonne. I'm a broker manager here at Insurance Advisors Direct. I am the special needs specialist here at IAD. Want to go ahead and introduce Fran Dennis, who is the MOLINA Michigan Market Manager. So she's going to go over some of the new plans for MOLINA. And again, if you have questions, you can go ahead and click it in your chat box. I'll be taking a look at that and we'll go ahead and address those questions. I'll probably have a few as well, Fran. At the end of our presentation, I want to thank you so much for doing this. I know it's kind of last minute, but in the spectrum of things, we kind of do a lot of things last minute, right?
We have to stay agile. There you go.
We save the best for last. So with that, I'll go ahead and hand it over to you, and you can show us some of these great new products that I myself I'm going to be learning, deep diving into this. So I'm really excited about that.
Okay, well, thank you. I'm switching my screen here real quick, but I got it there. All right, so thank you for inviting me out today, Yvonne. So what I'm going to go through, and it's not going to take a whole half hour to go through it, but it is going to be somewhat of a high level, but then we will get deep into it, what the benefits are going to look like, because we at MOLINA are going to have a different look as we get into 2022. And as you said, I am the market manager for Medicare in Michigan. That's a lot of M's, isn't it?
Yes, I know, right?
But that's okay. Okay, so let me make sure that this is going to slide over when I want it to. There we go. So our quick disclaimer, but those have all been approved by CMS now. So if you've been watching us here at MOLINA, you've noticed that we are actually growing, and we're growing rather quickly. We're either going to grow organically, or the other thing we're going to do is going to be through acquisition. So we did make a couple acquisitions over the past few months, and we added on Virginia, Kentucky,
Wow.
and Massachusetts. And so now we're in 16 different states, and we also added New York to round that out. You'll see here on this slide, you also see that we're growing in the counties that we're in the
Right.
marketplaces that we're in. So for Michigan, we started out for 2021, we had 41 counties we were in. As we move forward into 2022, we're going to add 8 more. And then that'll bring us up to 49 of the, I believe there's 81 in Michigan. So we'll be in 49 of the 81 that are actually in Michigan. So a lot of growth going on there. You know that we were physician founded. We've always been broker driven and focused. So we like that. We like to stay that way, and anything that I can be of any assistance with. If you want to know some strategies for the market and where our hot counties are, or where you should be selling what products for us, I am open to those discussions. You can give me a phone call or send me an email. We have a strong community connection. We have a whole team of people that go out and connect our teams together with the community to make sure that we're giving everything that we need to our members. We're also the leader in DSNP. So we are one of the top leaders in the state of Michigan in the DSNP world. Our leadership team is very experienced. We come from a lot of varying backgrounds in a lot of different carriers. At least I think everybody on our leadership team has been with at least 2 to 3 other carriers during our careers, and we have some longevity there also. The next thing is, now some of this I'm not going to go through because I'm going to assume that a lot of you are pretty seasoned. We've been around this thing called AEP for a while. So some of these I'm not going to go through, but if you need any explanation on the fee for service and those things, we can go through those. Then the Medicare, Medicaid, we know who's eligible for those. We know that we can sell the DSNP year round because every quarter they have a SAP that they will be eligible for. So we know that we can do that as well. So here's the exciting stuff. So let's look at the true value adds of our benefits. So for 2022, we are going to, the biggest thing I'm going to say that's going to come out of this is our flex card. Okay, so we are adding the flex card to all of our benefits, and when I say all of our benefits, as I get a little further into this, you'll notice that we have three plans that we'll have going into 2022 as opposed to the one plan that we have now. So when I was talking about growth earlier, this is truly a sign of what our growth is going to be. So, and then in addition to our flex card, so our flex card is going to have different purses or different buckets of money. They will not all be combined into one. So we will have a separate dental coverage, a separate vision, a separate transportation, separate over the counter, and then we'll add some other things on that flex card. So this talks about it a little bit over here. So we'll get into some of it, and I'm sure that if you've been watching some of the competitors, you've seen that we also have the SSBCI is something that came out into the market, and it just talks, and those are for special needs supplemental benefits for the chronically ill. So those will be on there as well. So we have on there they can get things like service animal supplies that will be available to them, pest control if they have a chronic disease such as COPD. There'll be some benefits for them to have some extermination done in their homes to take care of that. Some of the other things all of our benefits have is a 24-hour nurse line. This is probably one of the things that may be underutilized for some because we're always probably calling our doctors or calling our PCP or trying to get in. But for a real quick answer on whether what's going on with you, nurse line is a great thing to have available to members. I know that we have it on our healthcare, and sometimes I'll just call them and ask a quick question rather than trying to get into my PCP because it may take a little longer during these times to get into them as well. We have nutritional counseling that we will use for our chronically ill folks as well. For example, again, somebody with diabetes may need some additional nutritional counseling, and then medication management, making sure that when somebody goes into the hospital that they're coming out and we're not having any medications that may be counteracting with something that their primary care physician has given them. And that's where our case managers come into play. These folks play a large part of making sure that our folks are healthy, that we're not mixing things up, going back and forth with medication, that they're doing their rehabilitation, that they're moving along and making sure their recovery is great. Something else we now will have is the MOLINA mobile application. So on here, you'll be able to find their doctors. People will be able to get their nurse advice, though, and they download it from either Google Apps or from the Apple Store. So that's something they can put on their smartphones as well. And as always, we have our member service department that they'll be able to call into and get and get their any issues they may have taken care of as well. So back to our case management. This is just a little bit of giving you a better information into what case management gets into. They can help them with their transportation. So they do not have to call our transportation vendor directly. What we prefer them to do is to call into our customer service and let our customer service folks help them get through that. But if they have their case manager and they need assistance with that, they can do that as well. They can connect them into the community. So there may be things that's not going to be covered by us, right? But there may be some things that they need in the community, maybe like a wheelchair ramp or something done in the home that's typically not going to be covered by us. They can connect them to the services within the community. So they're critical in taking care of our members. So what happens when you enroll one of our members, right? What is this going to look like? So the first thing is we're going to get them all enrolled. Then the member will receive their membership card and their flex card. Okay, so we'll get two of those. Then we're going to ask for some assistance here from you all, and that is helping us to complete the HRA. Currently, it is not a digital HRA, so it will be via paper. And we are currently in talks of what is the amount that we will be paying you for helping us complete the HRA. Most of you are probably familiar with doing that as well because that's what most of the other carriers are doing. Once that HRA is completed and we know a little bit more about the individual, then additional benefits are going to be added onto their flex card for doing that. Okay. This just gets into a couple questions. When will I get my card? They're going to get it when they get their membership card. If a member doesn't do their flex card in the first quarter of next year, will we retroactive the benefits back to them? Unfortunately, we will not. So there will be a drive to make sure that these folks are getting their HRAs done as quickly as possible. Is the members notified at the end of the year that they have some funds left on our HRA card? We will not notify them, but there is a number that they can call to get that notification or get that information of how much money they have left on the card. And then what happens if they lose it? Of course, they can just give us a call back and we will make sure that that card gets replaced for them. And then the other is my choice healthcare card. And what does it mean? So this gets a little more into the buckets that I was talking about. So you see where there's a separate dental, vision, OTC, and the transportation. And then the SSBCI, there is where they get a food card. Now, the good thing is everyone, all of our benefits will have a monthly food card. They can get some emotional support animal supplies. So if they have an emotional support animal and the animal needs food or the animal needs a leash or a food dish, they can do that. We talked about the pest control. If they have a chronic disease, then we will look at the, getting some extermination in there for them. Mental health and well-being. So there are some other little things that they can do. Like if I don't know if you've gone on and you've seen Calm is an app that you can download, and Headspace is another one. That is for just some emotional well-being to help you calm down. And if you get into meditation, that is something that they can use their flex card and pay for that as well. Okay. And then this is the SSBCI side. So when we're looking at the pest control, we want chronic lung diseases, extermination of the pets, and we talked about that. Service animals, we talked about getting them their foods, the mobile applications, and there's another one, Talkspace. I've not heard of Talkspace. I've heard of Calm and Headspace, but those are the applications that they can go in and do that. And another thing is, like, if you have someone who may be um, have a precursor or have a history of cancer in their family, and they want to know if they have the gene or the precursor for that. That's something that's not covered by Medicare, but they can use their flex card to get that test kit to see if that's something else they want to do as well. The grocery part of this, it'll be in most of the grocery stores. So your chain, your mama pop stores as well, they'll be able to do that. The other thing, if they have an Amazon, and I'm forgetting who Amazon does their delivery through, but they can go on and use the flex card there as well. Okay, so here's our state. You can see in the teal are the counties that we're already in. The gold are the counties that we will be expanding into for 2022. I also want to bring your attention here to the lower left-hand corner where you see all three of the benefit plans. The way it is now, we have two plans, right? We have two different DSNPs. If you're up in the Grand Traverse area, up in I'm talking about the northwest side of the state, that's our 004 plan. Biggest difference between the two plans, nothing more than the vision. But when we go into 2022, what we are going to have is no matter where these folks live, as long as it's in our service area, all of our products will be available in that area. Okay. So it doesn't, you don't have to look and see, oh, I need an 004 here because I'm in this county and I'm or I'm in another county. They're good in all the counties that we are currently in. So good in all 49 counties. So here's our plan. The biggest thing we're doing different here is the first plan that you can see, the PBP is the 001. That is for our full dual, right? So these are full
Mhm.
Medicaid. The other plan to the right is our PBP 005. These are for our partial dual. Okay, so in our partial dual or in our full dual, there's no cost share to these folks at all. So, no copays, no anything like that. The biggest things that I'll point out for these folks is the preventive dental is at $4,000 a year. Or comprehensive dental, I should say. Then the preventive, they have no maximum on that. So that's covered for them at 100% for that. They still have the silver and fit. They are still getting 2 hearing aids. They have 56 meals. They have 31-way trips for their transportation. They have 350 for their eyewear. Their over the counter is $370 every quarter. So that's a healthy over the counter benefit as well. The one thing that I'll point out to here that we're making a change is that we will not roll these benefits over any longer. Okay.
Right.
So it's a use it or lose it for that quarter. The food, they'll get $30 a month on that. And then the SSBCI, the other things we talked about, they get $150 a quarter to do that as well. Okay.
All right.
So pretty strong plan for the full dual. Now,
I have a question, Fran, on that
sure.
premium that says 3150 for that complete care select. Can you kind of touch on how that plays into that partial dual
hmm
product?
Yep. So on our partial dual, you know that there are different levels of Medicaid, right? So it will
Mhm.
depend on what your level of Medicaid is. That will determine what that premium is. And then on another slide, I will show you where how that actually breaks down. Okay. So
Perfect.
this isn't Molina doing it. This is the state saying that this is what this is going to be. This is your level of Medicaid, and based on that is where we're saying that the benefit, the premium will come in. Okay.
Perfect.
Uh, Now these folks will have a $20 specialist copay, zero for the PCP. They have a $295 per day for days 1 through 6 if they go into the hospital. Currently, the way that our hospital utilization is running, our average stay is three days. So they'll never, more than likely, I'm not going to say never because there'll be someone who needs to have that longer stay. More than likely, they will not get to that 6th day. They have prescription drugs. They pay zero for any prescription drugs on tiers 1 and 2. And then, of course, they'll have
Mm.
some copays on the 3 and 5. They too have preventive dental. They have $2,500 in comprehensive. They have the unlimited on the preventative, which I'm still only thinking that a dentist is probably still only going to do about 2 of those, unless they have something else going on, a gum disease or something like that. But that's going to be in there as well. They get the silver and fit. They get the two hearing aids. They get 56 meals. They get 31-way trips. They get 350 on the eyewear. Now their OTC is a little different. It's 350, but they still get the $30 a month for the food and produce, and then they still get $150 for the quarterly for the SSBCI. Again, another strong benefit plan. Um, in addition to that, that plan has the Papa Care. Okay. So what this
Mhm.
is, now this is only on our partial dual. So what this says is they get 120 hours a year or 10 hours a month for someone to come in and help them. They get a pal. Right. So if they need someone to
Right.
do their grocery shopping, this person can come in and do 10 hours of their grocery shopping. They need some help with technology. If grandma wants to learn how to do some different technology, they'll come in and do that for them. If they want more tips on healthier living, this person is going to come in and do that for them as well. Again, I think another strong benefit, particularly when we're talking about the DSNP population here. Here's the premium that I was talking about. Okay. So if they are, and this is going to be on our 005, remember the 005 is our partial dual. So depending on their level, if it's 0%, then they have the 3150. If they are at it 25% is 2360, 50% is 1580, 75 is $7.90, and then if they're 100%, then they have a zero. Okay.
Mhm.
And now for our non-DSNP. So we're taking a stab at coming back into the non-DSNP world. So this is our MAPD for Medicare only individuals. You'll notice that this is our PBP 006. So these folks, again, they will have a $0 for zero premium, first of all, $0 when they go to see their primary care, which is, I think, is big.
Mhm.
$30 for the specialist. That's about average for what we're seeing out here. Inpatient is the $295 for days 1 through 6. But remember, I said our average stay is about 3 days. Prescription drugs, there's zero on tier 6. They do have a $125 deductible for tiers 1 through 5. And that's the other thing I will point out. On our DSNP plan, that formulary is only 5 tiers. On our non-DSNP, it's 6 tiers. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Then these folks will get a Part D senior savings. Now, what this is for our diabetics, where they need some extra help with their diabetic supply. So they will pay a copay of $35 a month for a 30-day supply, or $70 for a 90-day supply to help them out with that. They too get the preventive dental. They get $2,000 of the comprehensive dental, and again, the unlimited preventative. We use Delta Dental is our dental network for this as well. So you a wide range of dentists in there. They get the Silver and Fit. Same 2 hearing aids, 56 meals. They get 24 one-way trips for transportation. Not sure if this population would need a whole lot of that, but it's there if they want it. They get $200 for their eyewear. They too get over the counter. They get $90 a month for the I'm sorry, $90 a quarter. I wish it was $90 a month, right? So $90 a quarter for their OTC. They get the $30 for the food. They also get the $150 a quarter for their SSBCI. So again, another strong plan that I think that we have here. Couple that with our name recognition, and it should be very good. So here's the Part D Senior Savings Program again, and it just talks about what that savings plan actually is. Yvonne, do you have any questions in the?
I
Okay.
have one. Which Delta Dental network is used?
That I
'Cause
don't know, so I will get that
I
back to
think,
you.
and there's going to be a couple of them. There's one I know that's floating out that says it's Delta Dental of Illinois. Is that what you mean, Linda? This one is going to be Delta Dental of Michigan. It's the one that many of the other carriers are using when they say that they have that Delta Dental network. But with that app that you're talking about, where we can find their network, that is also where you can find your dentists as well, your dental professionals on there.
Yes. Yeah, you can go right to our website and look for the dentist, or yes, that would probably be the easiest way to go into that to find that.
Okay. And then
Okay.
you'll let us know specifically on when you find that out. So I
Yes,
guess
which network?
yeah, so I guess Delta Dental, she says, has a couple of different networks in Michigan. So you'll look
Okay.
into that, and then we'll
Yep.
narrow it down for you for sure. Thank you for
Yes.
that
Yep.
question. Yeah.
Okay. Our enrollment options. You have the plethora of enrollment options with us, right? So you can do a telephonic where you call in and you actually have the individual on the line, and our person will walk you through and get them through on your telephonic. You can do a telephonic scope of appointment. You can do, if you want to be old school, you can do paper as well. And then you can do our DRX. So our DRX is something that is available as well. There is, and all of you, I did a screenshot of this because everyone who came on and got recontracted and recertified, you got an email that looked a lot like this, or it was this email. And if you can see in the email, it said a step-by-step video. So in that email, if you click that video, it's going to take you to a YouTube channel. It's about 30 minutes, right? It's about 30 minutes long, and it walks you through the DRX enrollment process. And then there's also a step-by-step guide that I've sent over to Yvonne, and she has that as well that you can go through there. But the DRX is another great way of getting the folks enrolled. We are looking at doing the blue button. So those folks who go out on Medicare.gov and they enter in all their drugs and everything, this will link up to that as well. Okay. I get all kinds of alarms going off over here, so sorry if you're hearing that. All right. So here's our eligibility verification, right? Because we also have because we have that partial, you can call into our broker services department, and they'll give you the level of that person, so you know that you're putting them into those plans. The other things I forgot to say is, if you currently have a book of business with us and you have some partial folks that are on our current DSNP, we're simply going to crosswalk those over to our partial plan. The ANOCs have already been sent out. So now 9 times out of 10, most folks aren't going to read that lovely, boring book, the ANOC, right? But just to let you know, they do have it in their hands, and it talks about what their benefits were versus what they're going to be in the 2022. So you may get some calls on that. There's the telephone number for the telephonic SOA, and then the telephonic enrollment that's on there. Okay. Then we talked about the provider directory online and the formulary lookup. So all of that information is online for you. Marketing materials ordering or local market support, you can reach out to me directly. And I can help you with those things. If you Yvonne, did I also send you the order form? Okay, because we do have the 2022 order form that you would be able to get also to order your enrollment kits if you need that as well. And again, we talked about the telephonic enrollments and the SOAs that you can do, the paper applications, or you can use the DRX.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the telephone numbers for member services across all of our states that we're in, just in case you're selling in multiple states as well. That's all I have.
That's
Any other
beautiful.
questions? Well, thank you.
Short and sweet, and I like that. I do have a question. You had answered that actually. I was curious on the individuals that were on the plan and were, now in that partial dual product, if they're going to be crosswalked. How is it, for instance, if an individual does have a broker recorded that they're working with and they get crosswalked, and that individual has questions, does Molina refer those individuals to the brokers? Do they say, reach out to your agent that you're working with? And if a person says, I don't remember who that was, do you guys dive into that or not really?
We do. So we will tell them, and so you're not losing your agent of record. That is following whoever the agent of record is before we do this, follows you directly over on the other side. And if the member is calling into member services, they should be able to see who their broker is as well, and should have the broker's contact information.
Now, can you go back to the slides that had the state numbers, back to those phone numbers? There's a couple brokers does that help you there, Michael? Hopefully you got that. I do have a question that came in that says, what areas do you cover in North and South Carolina, if any? So you do have them in, I do know you have South Carolina.
We do. I'm not as familiar with that state.
I can
but
get
yes,
you,
we do.
yeah, I was going to say I can get Dominic that submitted that request. If you could go ahead and just, we'll have your email. I'm pretty sure you registered with that. I can go ahead and send him that map of coverage for sure.
Okay. And then your broker service manager there, I believe, is Kevin. I'm going to stop sharing for a second. And let me see if I can quickly find what I'm looking for.
And then also, I think I took a screenshot as well, Michael, on the member services numbers. I think, is that the one that you were looking for? I went ahead and did a screenshot for that, so I can email that to you.
I'm starting another PowerPoint because I know we go through who's who of all the broker services folks, but I just got to find it.
And now this this deck for Charlie out there that said that his slides seem too small, but I have the deck,
okay.
so I can go ahead and share that PowerPoint with you, so you'll have that available and be able to refer to it. So we'll have that as well. And then also, you know, for anyone that's on the call today, please let me know and I can go ahead and share what we have. Oh, you found it. There you go.
I found it. Yep. So there's California, Florida, and Idaho. So I'll leave that up for a second for you all.
And I think I might get a little screenshot of that one too. Just, I know where to find these, but since they're here, Fran,
Since they're right here.
since they're right there, you know.
There you go. And then there's that one. And the last one is here. So South Carolina and Texas is Kevin O'Connor. I thought that was Kevin.
And now,
And
does he also do North Carolina, or I didn't see anything in North Carolina?
we're not in North Carolina, just
yeah,
right.
I didn't see anything there. Okay.
So Kevin would be Kevin dot O'Connor, the number 1, and O'Connor is OCONNOR, the number 1 at molinahealthcare.com. His telephone number is 843-408-6650.
Right.
Okay. And then if you need those member service numbers, now this is probably even smaller for you guys. Let me see if I can't see what happens if we get up to 200. Oh,
right.
That's a little larger.
Wow. There you go. Well, and again, I'll be sending those slides out too. So,
Okay.
So they'll have those on there, and yeah, it's good to know that you know, I do know that some of these carriers, you know, they do actually take in consideration the work that a broker is doing and what they're helping that member to sign on. And so they will, you know, refer that member to reach out to that broker. And Molina is definitely one of those carriers, and I really respect that. The other, I think some of the questions, you know, as far as the LIS levels, that kind of corresponds with that one slide that you had that's showing the different premium amounts. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So if you have questions on how LIS works, you can always reach out to me. You can send an email to Fran. We can go ahead and break that down for you. If you have questions on how those levels work, you know, please let us know. Let me see if we have any other questions on here, Fran. And let's see, we've got the state numbers.
Guys, can I get you to hold for me for 2 seconds, please?
Sure.
Thank you.
And then if you could show, let me see the Florida. Let me see. And I think I have, was it the Florida contact that you needed? Let me look. Is that right, Michael? That was the so we'll go ahead and do that. But as far as the slides, we'll go ahead and give those to you so you can make sure you have those. I did go ahead and those job aids, I'll go ahead and take this opportunity to let you guys know we'll have the job aids. I'm going to go ahead and give the levels of Medicaid, the income levels. Now, again, they're caseworkers. We don't determine that, the state does, but I think it's a good idea for you guys to know what that looks like. The other thing is you'll have the step-by-step PDF version of going to, you know, of being able to enroll individuals on the online enrollment. And then you also have the order form. I will say Molina is a little behind on getting those kits out, but I wanted to kind of ask Fran about that as well. So hopefully she'll go ahead and show us that as well. So I think she's back. Are you back, Fran? She's having technical difficulties. And then the Florida contact. Okay, perfect. So we need to go ahead and have that one on there. Hello, you're back. But I don't think I can hear you. You came back with no sound. If you can, I think you're muted, Fran, but if you can show us the Florida contact and or the contact page of the marketing managers in that area, and then the marketing materials, when they do that order form for the marketing materials, I know some of the brokers, you know, we don't have any in our office so far, but do you know when we'd be able to get some of those? I know we're kind of last minute. If I do need to kind of pick some up, just so we have them in the office, you know, after the call, let me know where I need to go, and we can run those out to brokers or mail it to them if they need it. But yeah, I think it looks like you're just still muted on your end, Fran, but if you could put those on there. Hopefully I answered everyone's questions, and we'll get that Florida contact up there for you. And again, my name's Yvonne from IAD. You can call me here in the office. It's 248-946-4640. And again, I'll be emailing everyone when you got the email from us inviting you to the webinar. There's some contact numbers there as well. And again, here's Fran's contact information. I'll go ahead and make sure everybody has that as well. So hopefully we can get those to you. And other than that, I think Fran's looking for that Florida contact. Is that what you're looking for, Fran? So hopefully everybody's got their kits. One of the things that I do want to say is I like how you guys have the telephonic scope of appointment and also a telephonic enrollment option. They're both one and the same, which is nice. There it is, Eric Smith. Perfect. Well, there we go. Well, hopefully everyone has a great rest of the week. If you do need anything, if you need, you know, client intake forms, I do have a specific one for dual SNPs products. If you guys need those, please reach out and let me know. And again, I'll be sending a thank you, you know, appreciating everybody's time and with all the job aids. And if you guys need anything, please reach out to myself or Fran. Fran's muted, but she can wave. So hopefully everyone has a great week. And thank you again so much for attending. Please, you know, reach out, and thank you again, Fran, for your time. All right, take care, guys. Bye-bye.